Hello again, everybody. It's me, Madame Macabre, and I'm still dying in the heat over here. It is 90 degrees right now, and I'm in Washington State, and I'm not built for this kind of suffering. So, I guess being hot and miserable works for a grumpy rant type video. Remember, a while back, I made a video about what I thought were some of the best things about cosplaying and conventions, and I'm finally making the counterpart to that, which are my least favorite or the worst things about the cosplay community and conventions. Most of you who do cosplaying and conventions and have been doing it for a while, or even if you're new, will probably have some similar grievances. If you disagree with things or have a different point of view, or I miss things that you think are horrible, you can let me know in the comments below as well. But this is just my take on what my least favorite things are. So to get started, I think the absolute worst thing in the cosplay community is when people who are experienced shame newcomers. I have seen this so many times. Some people will get a little bit too high on their horse and they will just kind of look and talk down on people who are clearly brand new, who don't have access to the same kind of money, who don't have honed skills yet, and maybe their costume, the details are wrong, the colors are wrong, maybe their wig isn't styled right, and some people will get all snooty and then they'll laugh at them. And like, I get some people will see something they think is really amusing, and like, if you're gonna laugh about it, at least be out of the person's earshot and have a little understanding that they're new. I've seen some people straight up laugh and make snide comments to these newcomers' faces, and I can tell right then that they have probably ruined or at least left a major scar on that person's feeling like they're belonging in that community or their desire to cosplay at all in the future. It's just so messed up because everybody started somewhere. I had horrible cosplays from the beginning, and I'm still not even that great yet. I'm just slowly over the years learning how to sew and do things properly, and I still got a long way to go. But when I first started, like my first one was some horrible Naruto cosplay. I was like one of those Anbu Black Ops people. It was awful. I'm not even gonna show pictures, it was so bad. But people need to remember that not everyone, okay, there are some people who they may start out good because they were already an adult or an established artist or something who had these skills and they decided, I'll try this out. But most people are starting out young or with minimal money, minimal skills. They're trying to learn and they're only doing it for fun. So frickin' be nice. Just be nice, it's not hard. Another point, moving along with related to costumes and stuff, is this shaming of people who buy their costumes. It's like they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. If you're new and you don't know how to sew and you don't want to go in and get laughed at by these snarky people, but you maybe have some expendable income, some people will just buy their costume because they're like, hey, at least it'll look nice, and then they will get so much judgment just for having a bought costume. Mind you, there is a point, if you bought a costume and then you're going around and you're telling people that you made it, that is gonna get you some flack and you deserve that flack. But if you're just openly like, no, I bought it, I'm just here to have fun, you know, like, leave them alone. And there are some people who know how to sew and they know how to make costumes, but they don't have the time or they don't feel like doing it and they just want to do a quick, fun cosplay that they don't think deserves, 8 hours of their time to make a simple cosplay or something. I don't get why this whole shaming phenomenon became so big. Especially because the percentage of people that I've encountered who are falsely claiming they made things is so small compared to the people who just don't know how to sew but they still want to have a good costume, and there's nothing to be ashamed of with that. Just let them have fun. Good lord. If I seem like I'm getting riled up and emotional, it's because I'm literally melting. I feel like I can feel the eyeliner dripping down my face into the pits of hell. Seriously, some of you from down south or in some hot states are probably like, 90, that's nothing. But when the average is like 50 and 60, like, I'm not used to this. I'm used to the frigid cold and the rain. So this glowing hate orb is not my thing. Okay, moving along. So the next biggest thing that really kind of makes the community toxic for a lot of people is body shaming. This one really frustrates me because I have had friends who have gotten a lot of crap from this one in particular. It's like if somebody doesn't have the same body type as the character that they're cosplaying, they're suddenly not as good as the other cosplayers. So even if they're the most skilled, wonderful seamstress, it doesn't matter, oh, well, they need to lose some weight or something like that. Or if you're too tall or too short, or heaven forbid, anything that's not right for the character, some people are gonna give you flack. That being said though, weight is the one I have seen most frequently. I know there's also a problem with people trying to police skin tones of characters, and that issue can just walk off a cliff. I don't deal with people who have that mindset. I've got no patience for it. I've got very little patience for most people who perpetrate a lot of these things on this list. But just to say, I've had friends in the past who were wonderfully skilled at making costumes. They had more experience than me. Their costumes were better than mine. We went as a group cosplay, and theirs was probably the best in the entire group. And I was getting compliments on mine, and people, okay, so I need to organize my thoughts because I'm getting pissed off again. If I'm with somebody with a matching themed costume, do not tell the person I'm with to step aside because you don't want them in the picture, especially if I can tell the only reason you're wanting them out of the picture is because they're a little more heavy set. It's hot in here and I'm cranky and this is making me even hotter because I'm mad and I'm heating up. This is just not a good situation. Anyway, once again, when it comes down to it, cosplay is about having fun and appreciating characters. If you are so concerned with how somebody else looks, their body type, their skin color, anything, if you are so hung up on that and want to give them a bad time for having fun, screw you and stop going to conventions because you're going to get so upset every day because it's for everyone, not just who you deem it's for. Okay, now that I've raged about some of the really big ones, the last ones are kind of a little bit more like, they're also bad, but they're a little bit more personally nitpicky things to me. I really hate it when people will point out little flaws that aren't necessary to point out. Like, if you see someone who clearly worked hard on their costume and the purple dress that the character has, their shade of purple is maybe slightly a bit too blue, don't go up and go, your dress is the wrong color of blue. You know, don't dumb little things that don't need attention drawn to them. You're gonna make them self-conscious for the rest of the con and you're gonna ruin their fun time for something that didn't even need to be said. It's not like they're going up to have a competition to have it judged. They didn't ask you to come and point out tiny little insignificant things to ruin their good time. Keep it to yourself. And one thing I've started seeing, maybe it's because I'm paying attention to different things, like my mindset at cons is different now that I'm a little older, but I've noticed that there is kind of a problem with some people with a little bit of an elitist mindset who get all snooty when they see lots of cosplayers from something that's mainstream and popular right now. I can't tell you how many people who get all butthurt about seeing like Attack on Titan cosplayers, Undertale, back when it was still in its heyday, the Homestucks. It's just like, why are you automatically just getting a attitude when you see these kiddos having fun? Just let them have fun, good grief. I went into like soccer mom voice right there, excuse me. I guess the last thing that kind of irritates me is kind of a high schooly mindset that some cosplayers will get, in that they get territorial and it kind of takes the fun out of things, where like there's some cosplayers I've seen where they want to cosplay a specific character and they have from that point on like claimed the character, and within their cosplay group no one else is allowed to cosplay that character. Like, that's their character, they've claimed it, no one else gets to do it. And I always thought that was a little bit silly because cosplay, at least to me, is about dressing up as characters you really like and identify with. So taking that away from somebody just because you're doing it first, or you say you've got dibs or something, that doesn't sit so well with me. The same logic applies with like having it be your so-and-so character. Like, if you do a cosplay group and you've got a specific person who cosplays with you one year, well, let's say that one person is not going to be cosplaying said character the following year, but you and a few others from your group are gonna go again. I have seen some friends get in big fights over this ridiculous stuff because someone who was their whatever character from whatever anime wasn't going to be doing that costume that year because their lineup was too full, so they take in somebody else to be that character, and then it is the end of the world, drama central, because I was that character, that was my role, and you replaced me, and it's like, you're fighting over anime characters, and people are just having fun in costumes. Can we not do that, please? I don't know. Like I said, I'm getting older now, and maybe it just doesn't sit the same with me. These are just things that I've been doing conventions and cosplay for some years now, so I've noticed these things over time and kind of gotten slight irritation with some and extreme irritation with others. But these are things that have bothered me. I'm sure I've missed some things, and some of these things probably don't bother some of you guys at all, but like I said, it's just with me in conventions. Like I said at the beginning, if you want to share some things that bother you, or some things that you're like, that's not so much of a problem for me, but this is, feel free to let me know in the comments below and have a discussion about this, because ultimately the goal of this isn't just to be all grumpy and, I hate the cosplay community, it's more just, we should be aware of these things and have a discussion and try and make the community a better and safer place for everybody, because if we just ignore the ugly parts of the community we love, it's not going to get fixed and it's not going to get better, and some people are not going to feel welcome here. And that's just, the ultimate goal is we want everybody to be happy and having fun. I don't know, but I've been rambling on for too long and I'm getting too hot, and I think I'm going to need to finish this video before I physically melt into my chair and it becomes a new kind of creepypasta. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you all next time. That's all for now. Bye-bye!